AITA for refusing to pay for my neighbor's kid medical expenses? Throwaway because this happened just a few hours ago. For some context, I, 25F, live alone with 2 dogs. The first being an elderly medium-big size, 18 years, Bits, and the second a small 1-year-old, Coda. I love both of my dogs to pieces. But Bits refuses to eat or being inside our home. She used to be my parents' dog, and when they sadly passed away I took her in because I knew none of my siblings would treat her right. At home, my dad built her like a space outside the house where she could be warm and cozy, kinda like her own room. But I don't live in that house anymore, and I haven't saved enough to build her the same thing here yet. For that reason I always go to her at night, around 8:30 or 9, to feed her, make sure she has water and that she's sleeping in her house and not in the grass. While doing so, I see a ball falling from the left side of my fence, the one facing the street. And before I can grab it, the neighbor's kid, 16 to 17, just jumps my fence like nothing. I got so scared because it was the middle of the night and I live alone, plus at this point I don't know it my neighbor's kid yet, so I scream. I try to get up and Bits starts to bark, but while I ran to my house I see Coda running towards the kid and quickly bites his leg, and Bits tackles him. As I get to my door I call them both and they run towards me. That's when I recognize him, so I make them stay there and went to help him. I call his dad and they took him to the hospital, but 40 minutes after the mom is banging at my door. Because apparently kids bit him in both legs and the hand when he tried to grab her, and she's demanding I pay the bill or she'll get my dogs taken. I refuse and tell her that she should teach her son not to jump other people's fences and that they only defended me. I have them both inside, but I'm starting to question if I was the asshole or not. NTA. That kid was trespassing, and surely you should file that before they do anything with animal control. People should learn actions have consequences. That kid got lucky. For all he knew, he jumped over the fence of someone who had actually trained guard dogs. He wouldn't have survived with 3 bites alone. Normally, in an animal bite situation, I would say YTA. But in this case, you were in your own fenced-in property and this kid essentially trespassed and your dogs defended you when they sensed your distress. So, NTA. But you might want to contact the police to file a report. Especially since this occurred a few hours ago. You're gonna want a paper trail proving that this kid trespassed, just in case his mom tries to lie later and say that your dogs acted unprovoked. You need to have a formal record of your side of the story as close to the event as you can, so that they can't try to impeach your version later. Be sure to include what you have here: that the dogs immediately responded to your recall commands once you realized it was your neighbor. Also, be sure to have your dog's vaccination records handy, because otherwise, animal control may confiscate them to quarantine to make sure they don't have any communicable diseases like rabies. Good luck. NTA. But I'd get advice on whether to lodge a police report for trespassing before they get to complain to animal control. NTA. You were on your property and the kid technically trespassed. However, I would contact the authorities yourself, as the mom probably already has. You should cover your bases just in case, since an animal bite did occur. Even if it was on your property, the dog probably thought the kid was an intruder and acted in kind. However, if you don't have a Beware Dog sign up, you may consider that. NTA. They need to teach their kids not to hop over strangers' fences. They need to teach their kids mannerisms, that if they accidentally get their toys in somebody else's backyard, Then they should go over to their neighbors and ask them to help them grab their toys. Their son basically trespassed your house. It's scary to see a stranger hop over your fence, especially when you're a woman, because it could be someone dangerous trespassing. Your dogs protected you. Kudos to them. NTA The kid trespassed in the dark into a yard with a dog. Kid's fault completely for doing what he did. NTA My spouse used to work animal control and something like this, i.e. the kid jumping the fence into your property, would be considered a provoked attack. Meaning the dog had a normal reaction to the situation and a lot of other dogs would react the same. Honestly, I would file a report for trespassing because they are trying to get your dogs out down. And I wouldn't be surprised if they spun some tail like your dog got loose and bit her son. NTA The dogs were protecting their territory, He shouldn't have jumped the fence anyway. I would consider going to the police about trespassing. NTA Your dog acted like a good one would. He tried to defend you when you were in danger. At least according to how the situation seemed to start with. Someone entered your garden at night. You screamed. Clear case. Depending on where you live, they could have your dogs taken if someone is intruding your home without consent. And I wouldn't do shit to pay for the medical bill of someone basically breaking into my home. NTA But be very cautious. If she is convicted wrong and that her son is stupid enough to do such a thing, she could try to deal with the dogs herself. Exist, and she wouldn't be the first to poison pets who are bothering her. I would strongly recommend keeping them super inside or in someone else's house as long as you are not sure that the M is calm. NTA The kid was trespassing. A reasonable person wouldn't jump their neighbor's fences. NTA But since you're neighbors, and since your dogs are at risk, I think it's worth talking with them about what happened and negotiating a solution. The kid trespassed, scared you, and the dogs defended you. Maybe they will see reason. Regardless, I strongly urge you to call the police and report the events. Yeah, I was feeding my dog in my fenced-in backyard when this guy jumped over the fence. It scared the crap out of me. I started screaming and ran for the door. And that's when my dogs jumped on the intruder. It turned out it was the neighbor's kid chasing a ball, so I wasn't really in danger. But my dogs did bite him. I don't want to get the kid in trouble. I don't want to press charges, but his mother came over later and threatened my dogs if I don't pay the medical bills. If I have to press charges to defend my dogs, I will. Please send someone to take the report and start the process. Good luck. NTA Your dogs did what they were supposed to do. They protected you. It sucks for the neighbor kid, but he shouldn't have been in your yard. Dude was illegally on your property. This is a prime example of fuck around and find out. NTA You are all acting like this as a 10-year-old kid who made an innocent mistake. We are Talik NG about a 16 to 17-year-old male getting into the yard of a woman who sounds like she lives alone. Of course she got scared. He should have known better. FFS. NTA Call a lawyer. NTA The kid should know better than to jump the fence into a yard even if actually knows the dogs. And they know him. Boy was trespassing. I suggest you call the police right now and lodge a trespassing complaint against the boy before mom escalates to animal control. NTA Kid shoulda made sure it was safe. NTA But I have a relative that sued a neighbor and won because her daughter hopped a fence with a beware of dog sign. to pet the neighbor's dog and got her lip bit off. So it may be your property and you may have done everything right. And it can still go all wrong. Get the police report and lawyer up. NTA here. It is completely dark at 8 p.m. If someone jumped over the fences in the dark, I would be so scared. This teenager knew you had 2 dogs. He got himself in the danger and it bit him in the ass. As the others posted. Make a report to the police. You did nothing wrong. It was dark. You are a lone living young woman and someone jumps at you over the fence. If he did that at the wrong place, he could have been shot.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.